Hello and welcome back to Paul's Beer Reviews. I hope you're all doing well. Beer number 4 from the Oktoberfest box, and we're going to Löwenbräu for this one, and it is a bottle of their Oktoberfest beer. There's the artwork with our beer maiden carrying a few jugs of beer, and it's coming in at 6.1% ABV, this one. Yeah, again, loving the beer festival artwork that they go with on these. Apart from that, it's quite traditional Löwenbräu styling. It's got the traditional Löwenbräu bottle cap. 6.1% ABV. Pretty fresh. Good until July of next year. Yeah, looking forward to this. I was just reading the back of the bottle. Didn't realise Löwenbräu were owned by AB InBev. Should I be worried? Should I be worried? Not an independent brewery, but if the beer's good, I ain't going to complain too much. So, yeah, it doesn't say a lot, and what it does say is all written in German, so I can't really spill much about it. But yeah, Löwenbräu Oktoberfest beer. I'm expecting good things. Go, get the stein, give her a pour. Go for the double pour. It's already developing a lovely head on it. Let that settle. That's what you want. Pure gold, crystal clear, really decent levels of carbonation rolling up that one. It's looking good. Looking good. Head is just, well, say it's just starting to dissipate. Actually, it's just kind of sitting where it is. It's quite happy where she is, the head on this one. See how much more I can get in here. I would pour it gently, but I'm really thirsty. I want to drink it. But there she is. That looks lovely, doesn't it? That's great. That's exactly how you want it. In the stein. Pure gold. Good levels of carbonation on it. That head, I think, is going to hang around for a little while. I might have to top it up in a bit. But yeah. Picture German beer. Lovely. Stick me snouting. See what the aroma's telling us. Yeah, it's got that subtle citrus to it. Slight bready malt. She's bubbling away. So I'll get some more in there. Give that last bit a little bit of a wriggle. Wallop. There we go. We got her all in there. Winning Löwenbräu Oktoberfest beer. It looks the part. The aroma is subtle. So a bit of citrus, slightly floral. A little bit of bready malt. And there's a tiny bit of spice. A little bit of sort of pepperiness. But it smells inviting. Let's get stuck in. Cheers. I like the body. I like the mouthfeel. Getting that slight bit of herbal, sort of dry pepperiness at the back end, which I seem to be getting with a lot of these Oktoberfest beers. What I'm not getting, though, is much in the way of any real sweetness on arrival. And that slight, sort of really nice, sort of rich, malty, sort of bready malt that you get, that I got with the Paulaner and the Weihenstephaner. I'm not really getting that with this. It's there, but it's really subtle. This would have probably been as good. I could say something a little bit risky, maybe. This probably would have been as good as the Paulaner and the Weihenstephaner if AB InBev hadn't got their hands on them. I'm going to say that now. I might be totally wrong, but it's a little bit of a quinky dink for me. It's very drinkable. I like the body. I like the drinkability to it. Carbonation isn't crazy, which makes it a smasher. But anyone who's had these Oktoberfest beers, I think will tell you, as much as there's not really much of a complexity to this particular style of beer, there is a balance. There are elements to those beers that come out as you're drinking them. That floral, sort of subtle honey citrus vibe. The bready malt is really quite prominent in these Oktoberfest beers. And then there's a nice spicy finish to it. Slightly peppery, maybe slightly drying in some cases. With this, the main element is that pepperiness, that slightly spicy finish. But I'm not getting that sort of subtle kind of sweet citrus. That bready malt isn't really coming through. It just doesn't do a great deal for me until the end. Don't get me wrong, it's very drinkable. And I do like the finish to it. I really like the mouthfeel, and it's nicely carbonated. And you can tell it's nicely made, but it's been slightly, for me, it's been made on perhaps less of a budget. Less money's been chucked into this. That is just my guess. At least that's what I'm getting on the flavour. Slightly grassy, slightly floral. And they say that the bready malt never really quite comes through. It's not malty enough. It's not balanced enough. There's very little that goes on all the way from the beginning through to the mid palate. It's only towards the back of towards the finish where you start to get any real character. That's where it comes in. And although the finish is good, it's nice, it could have just done with something coming beforehand. You know, a little bit of more of a slightly sweet malt character or a slightly sweet citrus character at the beginning. It would have blended really nicely. It would have married nicely with that sort of dry, peppery finish. But it doesn't quite come. It just doesn't quite come. It's not a bad beer by any stretch. It's only purely because the beers that I've had before it, as in the Paulaner and the Weihenstephaner, were so freaking good. That I have anything kind of negative to say about this beer, because the drinkability on it is right up there. It's really drinkable, and I would happily drink it again. But I know full well that if you put this on a shelf that's got Paulaner Oktoberfest beer there and Weihenstephaner Fest beer there, this poor thing's not going to get picked up. That's just the truth. That's my God honest opinion, you know. It's a bit of a shame, but it's just not as good. It's just not as good. But I like it. I do like it, and I like it enough. I like it enough to give it a 7, I think, because I would happily drink it again. I would happily drink that again, definitely. It's still better than, you know, most lagers or Helles lagers or things that you pick up. Most, I say most. But it is very good. But there's better out there. There's better out there. Yeah, Löwenbräu with their Oktoberfest beer. Love the artwork on the bottle. The beer itself is a little bit meh. A little bit meh. Good enough, but there's better. It's just not enough going on with it. Not enough going on with it. Okay, easy carbonation, easy drinking. I like that dry peppery bitterness at the back end, but it just needs a little bit of something to come before it, and it never quite happens. I want a balance. I want a little bit of complexity, at least something. This is very much just mouthfeel and finish, this beer for me. Smooth, drinkable, peppery, slightly drying. That's about it. Yeah, so I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. So, there you are. Löwenbräu, Oktoberfest, 7 out of 10 for me. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you have. Until my next one, you take care.